Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Free League Publishing Week rocks on with my review of Tales from the Loop, They Grow Up So Fast. This is written by Oz Mills with artwork provided by Yaroslav Kubicki, Martina Starseska, and, of course, the creator of the Tales from the Loop universe, Simon Stollenhag. This 94-page hardcover with PDF carries an MSRP of $33.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $14.99. All that said, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Tales from the Loop, They Grow Up So Fast. A few things I do want to mention before I jump on in. First of all, my friends over at Free League Publishing were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this review with you. And these days, it's very important that you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of this book, but I do want to give you a very good feel for what's in They Grow Up So Fast and share my thoughts about the adventure too. Which means this is an adventure book. So my final thought is if you are a player and your game master is running Tales from the Loop, or maybe they're considering picking up They Grow Up So Fast, definitely recommend tune out now. As much as I want to stay away from major spoilers, there are going to be spoilers here. So you don't want the surprises of the adventure ruined simply because you watched this review. Now, having said that, you can let your game master know about this video. So if they are considering picking up They Grow Up So Fast, they can make an informed buying decision. All right, let's hop on in. I am going to assume that you have a working knowledge of Tales from the Loop and its science fiction setting. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the 1980s that never were. But we do get 4 adventures that will take place over an entire year. Each of the adventures is going to take place in a particular season. So we're going to start in spring and in winter. And I have to say, this adventure borrows heavily from films like E.T. and The Water Horse. There's actually a recommended list for viewing for game masters. And funny enough, one of the movies is Hot Fuzz. And I thought, wait a second, Hot Fuzz? That's an R-rated, relatively graphically violent, especially towards the end, comedy. Really? And I thought, okay, so this does take place in the Norfolk Broads, which was introduced in Our Friends the Machines and Other Mysteries. And it is kind of a small village, and there's strange things going on behind closed doors. It's okay, I get it. But I did laugh when I first saw Hot Fuzz. So the story here is very, very much like E.T. And here come your spoilers. What happens here is that this scientist who has been let go from the UK edition of The Loop returns back to The Loop to run some experiments. And during his experiments, he actually opens a rift to another dimension, another reality. And this creature comes through into our reality, also happens to be bearing an egg and deposits the egg here on Earth and then leaves, expecting to come back when the egg hatches, not realizing that this rift is going to close. Well, the governmental powers that be, in this case, math, find out about this experiment. They know about this creature coming through into our reality, so they dispatch teams of agents to try to find out what did this creature do. Now, the night the creature comes through, the player characters, the kids, are actually on a camping trip with some trusted adults. Could be parents, what have you, scout leaders, whatever. And some or all of the kids see this alien creature float above them, heading towards the loop. And there is one thing that is recommended in this adventure that I disagree with, and that is that one of the player characters should be heavily imprinted on this alien creature. And certain things will happen as the adventure continues that take place to the heavily imprinted kid. Well, I shy away from those kind of things because with role-playing games, you never want one person kind of having a spotlight role throughout an entire campaign. So I would actually have it where all the kids imprint the same with this alien creature. So Math finds this egg. They start experimenting with the egg, and the kids steal the egg to save the creature inside, and they bring it to their hideout. And then the next adventure, that egg is going to hatch. So then they've got this alien creature on their hands, which now they have to care for and provide for. So they have to find out, what do you feed this creature? And the creature's not intelligent enough to communicate with the kids. It can't even communicate telepathically, but it is able to share its emotions with the kids and its needs with the kids. And I find it kind of cool that the creature likes the kids, it trusts the kids, but any adult who gets involved, the creature becomes afraid. It doesn't trust the adults. So we also get information about a lot of background to the adventures. So we get information about the school the kids go to and some of the NPC adults, some bullies that make the kids' lives more difficult, and of course, the main plot line of the adventure. So by the third adventure, which is now moving into the fall, the creature is the size of a small cow. So it makes it far more difficult to hide the creature. And once again, the kids have to provide for its needs. And it's also learning some special abilities that its fellow creatures can do, which the kids can actually draw from. So there's some pretty cool, interesting things going on with the interaction between the kids and the creature. The creature isn't just a prop that drives the adventure. There's more to it than that. I will point out, if you are familiar with movies like E.T. and The Water Horse, you're not going to see a lot of surprises. As you're reading the adventure, at least when I was reading it, there were a lot of things that were taking place where it's like, yeah, I saw that coming. Now, finally, at the end, the kids have to try to make some sort of a deal with that original scientist in order to find a way to get the creature back to its own reality. It wants to go home. It wants to go back and be with creatures like itself. And the final adventure is pretty short. It's only about 10 pages. I think it ends really abruptly. And there is a real possibility of this adventure ending on a very, very down note. Wasn't too keen about that. And that is what we get when we take a look inside They Grow Up So Fast for Tales from the Loop. So let's swing on over to the other camera so I can share some final thoughts and give this a review score. So one of the things I do want to mention, and you noticed this as we were flipping through, that there's a lot of white space. We see this with Tales from the Loop releases. We see this with Vaesen releases. A lot of white space. A lot of artwork taking up 3/4 of a page. So the reality is, clocking in at 94 pages as a hardcover at $33.99, even though you're getting the PDF, you really don't feel like you're getting 94 pages worth of adventures with this book. So I do want to point this out. Now, strangely enough, This isn't the case with all Free League Publishing releases. In fact, there's a new Symborum book that I will be sharing a first look at. It is the finale in the Crown of Thorns campaign, and it is Devakar Awakens, and you'll find that it is densely packed with text, and it is just jam-packed with content. I peeked at a couple of pages, and I was like, wow, night and day as far as white space in these various different Free League Publishing series. So I know a lot of people mention how much white space there is in some of these Free League Publishing series. So I am pointing that out. I do understand that, where it's kind of like, I don't know. I wish I had a little more content for this price point. Now, of course, we understand it's not just Free League Publishing out there, which is lowering page count and raising prices. It's everywhere in the tabletop role-playing game industry. So I'm not trying to point a finger at Free League Publishing. It's something that's going on with just about every publisher out there. As far as the adventure, I like the adventure. I don't think it's phenomenal. I don't care for the ending. I think it's far too abrupt. I would probably tinker with that quite a bit. I would really, really look to pull at the heartstrings of my players in wrapping this up. There is also the possibility that this ends on a very, very down note. Okay, spoiler alert. The creature can't die at the end of the adventure, but it will be like the player characters will never see it again. It flees, it has nothing to do with humanity, and it's trapped on this planet. Like I said, kind of a bummer. Also, there are a lot of beats to this adventure that if you have seen E.T. and the Water Horse, maybe not necessarily Hot Fuzz, you will see a lot of these developments coming a mile away. Now, that may not be a bad thing for some folks out there, because I'm sure there are a lot of players out there who would love to get into a role-playing adventure that is similar to the film E.T. I get it. It's just not as original in execution as I would have liked to have seen. Still a good adventure. I still recommend it. Just not as highly as I recommend many of the Free League Publishing releases that I encounter. So on a scale of 0 to 10, I give Tales from the Loop, They Grow Up So Fast, a 7 out of 10. It's good, just not great. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already, and if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this review, it'll also inform you when my live show, The Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube. When you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you will not find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching. And until I see you next time, here's hoping all of you out there get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.